believe in America.
The Godfather, directed by Francis Ford Coppola in 1972, follows an Italian mobster family over the course of 10 years, beginning in 1945. The film opens with a close-up shot of a man speaking to Vito, or the Don Corleone, played by Marlon Brando. The first line is the man saying, "I believe in America," giving us the insight to where the film takes place. As he continues talking, the camera slowly zooms out from his face, but it is still dark and hard to place exactly where he is, leaving an ambiguous and mysterious feeling with the viewer. The man goes on to talk about the harsh treatment of his daughter and asks the Don for justice. In this scene, we begin to see the corruption and the crime that surrounds the Corleone family.
But you don't ask with respect. You don't offer friendship. You don't even think to call me Godfather. Instead, you come into my house on the day my daughter's to be married and you ask me to do murder. Money.
I ask you for justice.
That is not justice. Your daughter is still alive.
Let him suffer then, as she suffers. How much shall I pay you?
This scene establishes Don Corleone's family business and gives the viewers insight to the behind-the-scenes of this fictional mafia in 1945. You can see in this scene that the Don, or the Godfather, is a high figure in this society, and the only respectable way to encounter him is by kissing his hand and calling him by Godfather. This is important because, to the Italians, a godfather is a very important figure in a child's life, and the role is taken very seriously. As we later learn, Vito Corleone is the godfather to Johnny Fantino, the famous singer.
Godfather?
Good.
In this scene, we are introduced to Michael Corleone, son of Vito, played by Al Pacino, and we learn more about the Corleone family and their connection to Johnny Fantino. He tells Kay about how his father does business with full honesty and gives insight to the mobster culture.
How'd he do that?
My father made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
What was that?
Luca Brazzi held a gun to his head, and my father assured him that either his brains or his signature would be on the contract. It's a true story. That's my family, Kate. It's not me.
Michael says that that's his family, not him, and we can see that he does not want to be a part of the family business, which is important throughout the film as he changes his point of view. But when Michael's father, Vito, is shot and put in a hospital to recover, Michael brings himself into this family business, knowing well that once he is in, there is no getting out. His first major role as a Corleone mobster is killing Virgil Sollozzo, a threat to the Corleone family, along with police captain McCluskey, one of the several officers that has been paid off by one of the mafia families to come after the Corleones. When Michael comes back from the bathroom with the gun, we can see that he is nervous. Coppola subtly uses side lighting on his face to show a split in Michael's conscience because he is unsure of his future actions, and he knows that if he kills Sollozzo and McCluskey, he will have to leave the country and become fully invested in the family business. Just before he kills Sollozzo and McCluskey, the sounds of the subway screeching to a halt are heard and his face tenses up. This is a representation of the chaos that his actions will bring. This is a major turning point for Michael's character development.
Quando tu sta meglio, il cambio ti fa un e mettiamo tutto a posto. Steve sta via, si deve finire.
In this scene, one of the final scenes of The Godfather, Michael is shown at the baptism of his sister's son as being blessed as the Godfather after renouncing the devil. This scene is a major juxtaposition as Coppola uses contrast cuts between the baptism and the brutal murders of the Corleone's enemies to show the irony of religion in this film.
I do renounce them.
And all this pomps?
I do renounce them.
Michael Rizzi, will you be baptized?
The lack of emotion shown in Michael's face shows the monster that he has become and how he could never really avoid his family and their mafia affiliation. He has become the Godfather.